the username.
We are live. James Lynch here, MMA Guru. I don't think I ever thought we'd see this day, but here we are. Right off the bat, man. Thank you for coming on, man. I appreciate it.
No problem, dude. Let's settle the beef.
Let's settle it. Let's get into it right now. This is what I think, and this is going to be my first question. I think after all the evidence I've reviewed over the last 48 hours and going through all the videos and looking at this has been manufactured, is it not? I don't think there's really an issue with you and I here. I think it's the fans, the audience, whatever you want to call this. I think it's them pitting us against each other. What are your thoughts on that?
No, I despise you. No, I'm joking.
Okay.
No, yeah, it's people troll, and then they clip what you responded, and then they show it to me, and then I say something, and then they show it to you, and then it's haha, we made a little clip out of it, and then there's beef between James Lynch and the MMA Guru, and they get some views for it. It's all good. And I don't think I said anything too personal, though.
No, but that's exactly it. And that's where I've been misinformed. Like from the beginning, like, okay, we'll go all the way back to the beginning. I want to address this. So very beginning, I know there were a few times that you made fun of me, and that's fine. Cause I'm, again, people think I'm really serious, not really like that. I'm, I take it with whatever. Trust me, you're not the first, not the last person that said anything about me, but it's the point where it got to the, the trolling stuff. And what I was being told was, this is, you sending these guys to me, but I can see that's not the case because I go back and watch these clips. The hacking clip's a great example. Okay. I'm hacked last week. You said it on your channel. You're like, if this happened to me, I'd be really worried right now. And so I'm watching this clip and I'm going, that's not what happened at all. Because what I was told is, oh, he's mocking him, his channel's down, all this stuff. And I'm like, that's not really what happened. So this is where we've got to. It's manufactured drama. Am I right?
Yeah. My fans are pretty, let's just to use an internet term, they're pretty dank memers, if you will.
Yeah.
So a few of them seem to twist some things out of context to get some reactions out of people and type stuff in a chat and say James Lynch said this. So there's no real beef between us, but
no,
we have, internet trolls gonna be internet trolls, I guess. It's all good.
Yeah. And that's why I wanted to do this, because look, the trolls aren't going to go away. We, I'll mention this off, we talked about this off camera, but you're like, this might make things worse. That's fine. We live in a world where we're public people. There's going to be people coming after us. Doesn't make a difference. I just want people to know that this is the root of this thing is not you and me. It's beyond our control, Guru. Am I right?
Yeah. Beyond our control. People just type what they want. I don't know. I thought it was going to be a lot more intense than that, but yeah, people just typing in your chat, typing in my chat, making clips out of it. I have no bad feelings for you. In all honesty, I felt bad when you made your reaction to the trolling. When you made the video, I was like, oh shit, I kind of feel bad. He's kind of emotional, and you know what I mean? Not in a demeaning
No,
way,
I know what you mean, man. No, it's good. It's good. I know where you're coming from. This is the thing. I get you now. I get you. It makes sense. Like the Sean O'Malley thing's a prime example. Okay. When I was asked that question, I could have taken the high road and said the truth, which is that's awesome. You got on his show. Like not everyone from YouTube media, it doesn't matter, is getting on Sean O'Malley's show. That's what I should have said. I then had to add in the worst fan base. But here's the problem with that statement is that it's not all your fans. I've talked to some of your fans. I have like lately, like since this whole thing's happened. And, I get it. Like that's not all of the fans. See, I thought it was all of your fans. So that's the difference.
Yeah. It's like 2 or 3 of them that like to meme around on the internet, but the majority of them are pretty good.
But here, I had another question though. Like you mentioned, you get trolled as well. I know there's the whole wheelchair thing. Like I'm curious, like what is trolling on your end? Cause I don't even know what that is.
People say I'm in a wheelchair. People call me a Jew. People say all sorts. It's just nonstop, but I like it. I like being trolled. I like being insulted. So I don't know. It kind of gets me going. It's funny to me. So I sort of like, I'm okay with it. And then they see I'm okay with it. And then they take it up to like 100% of trolling against me pretty much. But I like being trolled. I like being insulted. So I'm okay with it.
Well, it's a different generation though, too. I think you and I mean, there's an age difference here. I kind of know how old you are, and I think you kind of know how old I am here, but I think it's a different set of an audience as well. And I'll say another thing too, like you and I cover the sport differently. I think that's fair. Like there are certain things that I do that are similar to you, but I think the core of what you do is a lot more analysis and things of that nature. Whereas mine's like everything, the pros picks, the whatever, like it's a kind of a smorgasbord of different MMA stuff. So if I could take a guess here, I could say like, the back and forth for you probably wasn't a big deal because that's more of what you're used to. For me, it is because it's like, I'm just trying to cover the sport the way I want to cover it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, like it's sort of like out of left field for you to deal with like an internet beef back and forth. But for me, it was like, oh, a chance to make another video. But I don't know. I usually just wait until someone like directly insults me hard. Then I can have like a justification to go back at them. But like, you know, Dan Hardy and Mark Goddard did.
I
like
heard about that. See, I never watched that whole thing, but I heard people saying that, you know, you own Dan Hardy, and again, that's your own thing. That's none of my business. So
yeah, they made like an hour long hit piece against.
Okay, so see, mine was shorter then. Then there were, you know, yours
was only a couple of minutes. But yeah, they like, I don't know. I was people were saying make a video. I was like, I'm not gonna make a video trashing James Lynch. He's just being trolled by members of the fan base. It's not like he's outwardly just insulting me over and over again nonstop. So I just
and that's where I sort of knew this wasn't the core of what it was. Like I could tell in your response, I could even tell on Instagram, because I didn't know, man. Like I honestly didn't know how you were going to respond. Like when I made the video, like I didn't know what to think. So because I don't know you, and that's why we're here today. We're to figure that out. One of the things I wanted to mention as well is that I know in your response video, you're like, hey, I'm going to try and educate him on like how to filter out trolls. And I've dealt with trolls before, like not just your audience. Have you dealt with Islam fans? Let me ask you that. The Islam Habib fans, do you get that, a lot of
course. The Makhachev, the Dagestani fans are the worst fan base in the sport. They're terrible in the comment sections. Luckily, YouTube filters out most of what they say about like beheading family members and stuff, but they are terrible. But yeah, they're just,
because they cross the line. Like your fans, it's whatever, you know, I suck, whatever. I don't care about that. But there's like, there's personal stuff that it's gone into with me, and it's like,
there's like attacks on personal safety,
like family members. Like I'm not even kidding. Like I have a Discord chat. I've shown people some of the messages. It's nuts. So
people say I'm lying and over exaggerating about the Dagestani fans. I don't even hate the Dagestani fighters. I don't mind Makhachev and Habib in that.
I'm the same way.
I just want to see some of them lose sometimes, because I want to see their fan base cry about it, because I see the messages that are being held back by YouTube. It's terrible.
And to clarify, it's not all of them, but there is some that get a little obsessive. And then people accuse me. They're like, well, you never interview any of the Dagestani. I can't, because who's their manager? I'm banned from interviewing all of his fighters. I don't know if you knew that.
Oh, I didn't know that. No, but Ali
that's a whole other story. So. Yeah, that's a whole other story that we don't have time here for today. I wanted to give you some advice, because I did appreciate how you went on your stream and you're like, hey, I'm going to help them out and figure out the troll stuff. So you mentioned getting hacked, and I'm going to tell some advice out here, and maybe there's hackers watching. This isn't a good thing, but here's the best advice I can give you after someone who has been hacked. Make sure you have multiple emails tied to your channel. I would highly recommend that are separate, because the issue I had was when I got hacked, I had one email on this account and I couldn't get in. And here I am watching this Tesla stuff happening. I had people in the comments being like, did Elon Musk buy your channel? Like all this nonsense. And I'm like, I can't even get in. It was crazy. Yeah. So yeah, it was a nightmare, man. Like I'm lucky in the sense that I don't rely on my YouTube channel for like my main source of income, but it's still like, it took me a while to build all this up. Right. So it's one of those things where I would say to you, get like a couple different emails, even get some other people you trust maybe to get them to just be on the channel in case something like that happens, and really beef up the security, like all the Google options, whatever you can do, get it as much as you can, because like, look, like you spend a lot of time putting time into your channel. You're very successful. You don't want that to go away because and mine wasn't even like attacked. Like people think that, like I said, that was something I brought up in the video, is that people thought it was like you and Jesse on Fire, like conspiracying against me, but it was a random attack. Yeah.
Yeah, it actually was me and Jesse on Fire. We've been planning this for months.
Exactly. Yeah. And you guys are expert hackers, and you got the UFC too, because the same thing that happened to my channel happened to the UFC. Did you know that?
Yeah, but we were mainly focusing on you. The UFC was just like a side project that we had.
Well, that's understandable,
we needed James Lynch's fan base to be sold Teslas illegally. Was the main focus of the hacking.
Trying to go green
enterprise. Over here. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I'll set up multiple emails and stuff, but you clicked on a link basically is why you got hacked.
So yeah, no, what happened was, and I don't know if you get this either, but I get offers every now and then to like put advertising on my channel. Like you get like a cash thing. So it was like that. Yeah, it was totally like that. So what had happened was someone had sent me like a couple assets, and one of them was a PDF, and it was supposed to be an agreement. And like a dummy, I didn't check the file extension. It was an SCR file instead of a PDF, and the guy got access to all my passwords. So that's what happened. It was a nightmare. So
that's terrible. That is awful.
Yeah. But in all sincerity, like I don't like, I would hate to see anyone get their channel taken away, because I know how hard it is to like, you know, make money off YouTube. Like people think like all these critics and stuff, and I'm sure you get them too. Like like you have to, there's a formula to it. There's a formula to making a profit off YouTube, and not everyone's successful. Right. So
yeah.
So there you go.
Just glitched out for a bit there. I just want to let
Oh,
you
yeah?
know, though. You know you're going to
Yeah.
get trolled more by my fan base after this.
I do. But that's,
They're
but I at
brutal.
least want, I know. But my thing was, and I even said it in the video, and I got the same thing. I just want the truth to get out there that like this isn't between you and me. This is a bigger thing, you know?
Yeah.
That
But
makes sense.
they will troll. So I'd add
I
the
know.
words the MMA Guru or MMA Guru into your like banned words list on your settings on YouTube or
No,
something
see, I've
like
already
that.
done that. That I knew that was the advice you were going to give me. So I'm just
Oh,
letting you
okay.
know that I'm already ahead of you on that on both channels.
All
Trust
right,
me, it's all
They'll
covered.
find a way. They'll find a way around
I know,
it.
I know.
They'll
Listen,
find a
I'm
way.
prepared for it. This was the risk I was taking, but at the very least, I just wanted to get our sides out here and talk because this is what I do. I deal with things directly, and this honestly, we should have done this a while ago, from my perspective, because this was just going to be like he said this and he said this, and it's like we're not getting anywhere. I know you like it a little bit, but me, it's annoying, you know. So that's
I didn't want to do this. I don't like
I
this
know.
type of stuff. I like being able to make a video about it, but I don't know.
Well, that and that's why. Listen, and if people are watching my channel that might have an opinion of you, I think they got to give you some props here for even showing up and doing this because you didn't have to do this, man. You didn't.
Yeah, fuck them anyway. I don't care.
Okay, couple rapid fire questions. I know we said 20 minutes,
Sure.
but like we'll do even less. It's fine. Like I got a couple questions. I'm curious for you as a YouTuber. Like, what are your goals in this industry? Like, what do you want to achieve? I'm just listen. This is my job. This is what I do for a living. So I was curious about that. I don't even know.
It sounds like a joke, but I don't know. I think with the fact that I've got as far as I've got in a fucking shed in my garden, with no production value whatsoever, I think I can become the biggest MMA content creator on YouTube pretty easily. I'm already like catching up to certain names on YouTube. I'm gaining on like the Weasel and Chael. So eventually I want to be like the biggest MMA content creator on YouTube that talks about the sport, you know?
Well, I was going to say, and the numbers are trending that way. Again, I don't know if you saw in the video, but I gave you credit because if you look at Junkie and Fighting and all these guys, like I'm on you and I are in different scenarios here. I would say I'm a journalist and a YouTube guy. You're just a YouTube guy, but you know the area of YouTube way better than a lot of the bigger sites do. Like you look, like even Mac Life is over. Well, yeah, there you go. But I was going to say, even the Mac Life is like overtaken MMA Fighting, which should have never happened. But it's because Oscar was smart about how he was doing things, right?
Yeah, he was quite smart. He's in the know. He's a young guy as well, though, so it sort of happens that way normally. But I just think a lot of the channels on YouTube right now, even yours, but you've designed it this way, so it's not an insult to say this.
No,
they made their channels and they're relying on the fighters to exist. But I sort of had an approach to make my channel where I don't rely on any fighter whatsoever, and it's myself is the product. You know what I mean? But you're like a byproduct with the fighter that you have on is like your format of the channel. But I don't do that, so it's easier to grow just doing my own thing, you know.
Yeah, and I'm trying different things too. I'm trying to pick up things, and it's always an evolution. I'm not just sitting here saying like I'm done. I'm not going to change anything. I try all the time. It's tough, but you've cracked the code. Like 20,000 views per video, more 100,000 views. Like that's what YouTube is, and you do it differently. Like you'll do a video and then give it some space, and then put another video up, so it keeps keeping you in that tier. Like I understand that part of it, right?
So I'm a genius, basically, is what you're saying. I'm
pretty much. Yeah. Listen, I'm giving you credit, though. I'm giving you credit. The thumbnails.
Genius.
Do you do the thumbnails on your own as well?
Yeah, I make my own thumbnails. I just over time I just found out which ones seem to hit the algorithm. There's like all kind of, if you just study it for long enough and get really autistic about it, you can study like your own algorithm enough to know like what sort of retention rates you're getting and what sort of like impressions lead to how many click-through rates. And I just adjusted the thumbnail until that was at a good percentage, and that seemed to work out for my channel. So that was the main thing that I did.
Did you learn all this on your own, or did you have someone help you? I was curious about that too.
No, I'm doing it on my own. I'm just doing it on my own. I was in my room. I did it for like a year, didn't get any money, no views. Eventually started getting some views, some money from it. Started slowly not doing 9 to 5, 40-hour weeks, 20-hour weeks, 10-hour weeks. And then this became full-time at the start of 2022. And at the start of 2022, I moved into my shed, which got renovated for this purpose. Just a little bit. Not renovated, but like not made out of fucking cardboard, pretty much. Somewhat put together.
Is the beanie going to stay on forever, or you think you'll get away from that? Because it's got to be hot wearing that with a big light in your face, no?
I'll probably take it off this summer. I'm trying to stare into the camera, but there's a light there next to it, so I'm just burning my eyes out the whole time. But what's it called? I'll take off the beanie in the summer, probably. I don't know why I still have it on. I was going to sell beanies. I don't know. Let me find. I think I have a beanie here. I was going to sell these.
What are they? Oh, okay.
Like
Okay. Yeah.
MMA
Yeah. Yeah.
Guru beanies. You see, I made a
Yeah.
logo for it and everything.
Yeah. No, that's
But
smart branding again.
it's
Yeah.
so fucking difficult to make and they're so expensive to make. It's just like, fuck that shit. So I'll probably just take it off around the summer and say, hey, 100K subs. Thanks, guys. Who
Yeah.
knows?
No, well, you're getting there for sure. We call those toques in Canada, right? Did you know that?
No, I did. I learned that over time because people, what's with the toque? What's with this on the head? They
And you're
don't say
probably
beanie,
confused.
but
Yeah.
a
Okay, that
beanie
makes
is what we
sense.
call it in the UK. Yeah.
Got like two
Nice.
more questions. Do you have any questions for me? I mean, you're here. You took the time to come and join me. Is there anything, any stuff you have for me at all? Figure I'd give you that opportunity.
I mean, talk more about my genius on YouTube. I don't know. What
Listen,
I'll
give. Hey, I give credit where it's due. Let me tell you something though, seriously. And again, your fans probably may or may not understand this, but like I have a lot of friends that are successful. Submission Radio are very good friends of mine. I have a lot of people in the industry that are killing it. And honestly, it makes me better because it's like if they're stepping their game up, if they're getting the views, like even you, Jesse on Fire, same thing. He's killing it. Like that stuff I pay attention to, and I don't look at it as competition. I look at it as I got to get my ass in gear and try and improve it myself. I've always been that way. Even in our industry, like there's a few people like, I could tell you some stories, but they in general, I think we're all helping each other out to get better. That's kind of how I look at it. I don't look at it as like, oh, screw them, so.
Yeah. What would you what are you trying to do in your own regard though, outside of just interviewing fighters? You were talking about that. Talk about that for a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, eventually I would like to do everything on my channel, just do my interviews and have everything on here and have sponsors and not necessarily rely so much on the YouTube ad revenue because we do kind of get ripped off if you look at like the overall scheme of things, right?
Massively.
Like you can get 1 million
especially
views
in
on a
January.
video. Yes. Yeah. It's
Jesus Christ.
No, it's been nuts. But I think I would like to do everything in-house at one outlet because I work for like 12 outlets and it's guaranteed pay because I got a mortgage, I got 2 kids. So it's a different scenario, right?
Yeah, do you ever think about doing in-person things at the events, or you're just going to keep doing?
So I used to. I don't know if you know this about me. I used to go to events all the time. In fact, there was 2019 before COVID. I was going to almost a pay-per-view a month. I was working for another company and I was doing that. But it's tough, man, because you got to be there all week. So I'm trying to go to 285. That'll be the next one I'll go to. The last one I was at was 276. So because I would prefer to be in person. Like. I'm sure you're the same way. You'd like to go, well, you don't interview, but I'm sure you'd at least like to go to events and do stuff there if you could, right?
Eventually, when I'm in my mid to late 20s, I'll start enjoying myself. I don't know. I just rely on covering the events from the shed to make money at the moment. So when I'm like a bit more relaxed on YouTube, I'll take a couple of events off a year and go to them and enjoy them and stuff like that. But I still haven't been to a live show ever. So eventually,
you've never been to a live UFC, really?
Do that. No, never. No, never.
Well, you won't now.
UK a few times, but yeah.
I was going to say 286. Have you seen those ticket prices? There's a video for you.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm not affording them. I don't know. I feel like it's so expensive to go there. It's almost like the seats aren't even good. Like, I don't know. I've always seen like people put up like crowd view on YouTube of like fights going on. It's like, how can you even enjoy this? It's so far away. It's
the experience about being there, honestly.
Yeah.
I've seen other live sports like plenty, and it's not a great viewing experience, especially if you're on the floor, because like that's where the press usually is. You can't see anything. You're looking up at the monitor half the time. If a guy goes in the corner and is getting ground and pounded, you can't see it, so you have to look up there. I'd say if you're going to get seats, little tip for your audience here and everyone out there watching, get center row, like kind of up a little bit so you can see everything. Otherwise, you're just staring at the monitor the whole time. So
even if you're too close, like you're just staring, it's hard to even see through the cage. You need to sort of be above the cage,
exactly,
to kind of get a good view of it. But yeah, until I can get really, really good seats and afford them in the UK, I'm just not going to bother going to any live events. Fuck that.
Or get a sponsor. Like I'm sure you get hit up a lot. Get someone to send you there, and then you just film content that week or something. You could do it that way, right?
Yeah, my fans, God, this is the problem with my fucking fan base, dude. If I get a sponsor, Jew, shill, disabled scam artist, ripping us off.
So this is the trolling we were talking about earlier. I see. Okay. So it's you're in a tough spot. Yeah.
So I'm in a position where I need to sort of like, it's give and take with my fans. I need to like appease them as like a kangaroo court on a daily basis, if you know what that is.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're the judge, jury, and execution of the chat. I'm kind of held hostage by them a bit. If I'm going to get a sponsor, I like it though. It's fun. But if I'm going to get a sponsor, I need to like justify having a sponsor. So what I would do if I was going to get a sponsor, which I have had loads of offers, but I haven't taken any. Yeah. But if I was going to take a sponsor, I would massively upgrade the production value and then take the sponsor. So there's like a give and take. Like I'm taking a sponsor and shilling out for the big man, but I'm also giving you a bit of an upgrade in production value, and I'm not just in my fucking parents' shed. You know what I mean?
Yep. No, I get what you say. Do you ever get your videos demonetized for anything you talk about?
Oh yeah. Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not normally though. I know I've studied like what can get you demonetized and stuff, but sometimes when I'm in the middle of a heated video, it'll get rough. Like I had a Lauren Murphy video I did recently. That was okay for a day, and then YouTube realized, hang on a second, he said this at the end, and that got demonetized. And I'm just looking at them now. A lot of them are monetized though, to be honest with you. A lot of them are monetized. I'm good at skating around, and I don't upload any of my streams. If I uploaded my streams, I'd probably get demonetized quite a bit, but
doesn't happen.
All of the content that's visible to YouTube is I skate around the monetization shit.
What do you think about channels that use footage? This is something that kind of drives me nuts as well, because obviously they're going to get way ahead of us in terms of, well, not necessarily me, but even you, because like you'll see channels that like I saw a guy the other day, was it In the Pocket? I don't know if you know who that is. He's streaming UFC 283 and doing commentary on it. And I'm like, how's he getting away with this? And I get shit for having the wrong music track or something. It gets demonetized.
But he's fully demonetized though. He doesn't make any money. He can't get donations. So
yeah, I guess that's true.
the cost. But there's also this fucking absolute prick on YouTube that I want to talk to you about. He's called the MMA Guru Clips, is what he's called.
Okay.
And he's got 26,000 subscribers, and he makes these videos breaking down fight film and footage, like mostly every single week there. And he wears a beanie and
kind of looks like you a little bit. Yeah, I've seen him.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, he does exactly the same thing that we're talking about. He's really good. It's actually annoying how good he is. That's sort of why I have hatred of him. But yeah, he does the same thing. That's
still okay, but that's still by still though. I'm talking like actual footage. Or I've seen other channels where they'll like go to like an MMA junkie and just take their like weigh-in stream and start using it, and they, you know.
Oh yeah, that's too much.
That happens a lot, because I know on the journalism side of things, the media side of things, people are not happy about that. But you can't do anything about it, because like if they're talking over it, YouTube won't catch it, right? So
yeah, because it's transformative enough, and that's just, I don't know. I think people should. I know it's terrible if they're profiting from it and it's affecting you negatively, but I think just allowing people to use your content is actually a good thing normally, because my clips channels, I've started like I basically have an ecosystem of parasites, which in a good way. I'm not calling them, Jesus God, there's another clip they're going to have. But they sort of like just use my footage. I could take all of it down and just delete all of it. And there is negatives to it, but a lot of people are like getting introduced to the channel through them clipping stuff. And
yeah, I was going to say, like, I'm sure people are making money off your clips, but at the same time, they're giving you that exposure because of the clip format is easier to digest, right? With certain stuff, because you do long streams, man. So I'm sure like there's tons of stuff you say that you might not even think to clip, and they get it for you, right? So
yeah, they get reactions to fights and stuff. But what I'm going to do, I'm just going to wait years and years, and then eventually just claim every single cent that they made.
There you go, bring it over to your side,
and bankrupt them and laugh maniacally as their lives are ruined.
Guru, we did 23 minutes. I took too much of your time. I appreciate it, man. Is there anything you want to say before we get out of here? I'll give you the last word. If you got any videos, any topics you got coming up, I'll let my audience know here.
It's war between me and James Lynch. It's a real beef. It always was real. This is a serious beef.
There we go. MMA Guru. See, this is all I wanted. I wanted to just talk to him directly, and we did it. And yeah. So thanks everyone for watching. If you watch this live, if you're watching the replay, appreciate you tuning in. Hit that like button. That's the last thing I'm going to say. Take care, everyone. See ya.